Hey everybody. Hey. So I got a lot of notes, like a lot of notes for this video. And this video is going to be so life-changing. If you are an entrepreneur and you say, hey, I have a business, but I don't like work in my business every day, or I feel like the stuff I'm doing, obviously it doesn't produce any fruit. Like, how do you work inside a business every day? Like, when you say that, what exactly does that mean? This video is about to be so life-changing for you because I literally just wrote down every single thing that I take myself through and take my clients through. And it's just like, what does daily business activity look like, especially for a solopreneur that's trying to grow their customer base, that's trying to do the content, that's trying to do all of the things, right? I'm about to give you the entire blueprint, okay? So this type of video where you kind of run in your room right quick and get you a notepad and get you something to take notes with, because I am going to give a lot of information. But what I really want to do also is make talk more in depth about the topics. I'll share more. Like, there's so many details here, but this is so life changing for you. Okay, this is so life changing. And if you are the entrepreneur that I described, I want you to put me in the comments so I can see. Hey y'all. Hey everybody. Hey. Yes, we're going to be talking about the thing that I recommend to entrepreneurs who are like, hey, I don't work inside my business every day. Like, what does that mean? Like, how do you work inside a business every day? I'm about to give you the complete sauce. If you feel like what you're doing is not working, you feel like you spend too much time thinking about content. Hey, y'all. Right? What is it that you do to actually work inside your business every day to get your results, to get momentum, right? To get more customers, to get more money. Okay? All right. So first thing, especially if y'all, please take notes, because once you see it written down, it's going to make so much sense, because it's going to be a lot of information. So take the notes like physically. The first thing is, I want you to realize that the stuff that I'm about to tell you can apply two different ways. So if you have a 9-to-5 and you're an entrepreneur, more than likely this is a lot of work, so maybe you need like a VA. But if you're a full-time entrepreneur, you already took that leap, but you find yourself like struggling with generating revenue, this is what you should be spending your majority of your day doing. Okay? If you work a 9-to-5, what I'm about to give you, it's a lot, but it's the hustle. But it works. But this is why also I told y'all that's the number one thing that I wish I did before I quit my 9-to-5. I wish that I had actually, instead of me going from my job to just me employed, I wish that while I had my 9-to-5, I hired a VA. That is the number one thing that I wish I did before I jumped into full-time entrepreneurship. I had a great job, right? I had a great job. It wasn't an extreme rush to quit, but things were going really, really well for me. And at that time, I made the leap. It turned out okay. But I wish that I had got a VA. I wish I had got a virtual assistant and had my virtual assistant start replicating some of the things that I was doing during the day. See, it makes so much sense now, me looking back at it. I'm like, duh. I don't know why I wouldn't do that. And that's what I totally recommend to everybody, right? I would just hire me a VA, have them work inside my business, have them generate more and more revenue, or even like hire guests. It's just so much stuff I could have did with that income at the time, to have people like replicate and delegate things inside my business, and then me step out, right? And then, because building like that, it allows you to focus, and it gives you another level of accountability in your business. So if you have a 9-to-5, I strongly recommend you hiring a VA. I'm telling you, have somebody making money for you before you step out. It's just the only person, because it all be on you. It's a lot. Okay. All right. So let's talk about it. What should you or this VA be doing? And yes, y'all know that is something that I do too. My one-on-one clients that I work with, my true one-on-one clients that I work with, I have a team of VAs that helps them. Okay. All right. So let's get into it. So if you have a business, and for some people, when I ask this question, y'all are going to say, duh. And for some people, when I ask this question, they're going to say, no. When it comes to your day-to-day business, I want to ask you this one question. Do you have a list or database of customers? If you say, duh, then great. Keep listening. But if you say no, then red flag, red flag, red flag. You should be keeping up with the people that are contacting you about what you do. You should be keeping up with the people who are, even that you met at the store. They say, yeah, I'm going to buy some. Okay, great. Let me get your information. Okay? Inside your business every day, having a business is not just waking up, okay, well, let me create some content, or let me do this, or let me see. Like, no, having a business means that think about if we was old school, right? If this was before computer. If you had a business, that means you had a Rolodex of contacts with names, phone numbers, and you would work that business and call those people and connect with people. And if Jimmy say follow back up on, you would work that business. The same thing applies with us. You have to have a database, and y'all probably can see where I'm going with this. You have to have a database of customers that you're working. And that's where your revenue is. That's where your opportunities are. That's where your collaborations are. That's where, if you do that follow-up, you're going to make the sale. So it's 2024, right? A lot of this stuff can be automated, and I'm going to talk about it in depth inside of this video about what does that look like, what technology you use, how to organize it, and how to work it every day. I'm going to get way into detail here, y'all. Okay? So you should have a customer database. So if you don't have one, the simplest one, the one that I love so much, is Monday.com. It is so easy to go on Monday.com and build your customer database if you don't have one. Now, for some people in certain industries, real estate, if you have a Shopify store, they're going to like automatically build one for you. But there are some people who are hustling, maybe like the girls that do makeup, right? Are you like building a database? If I send my niece over there to get her makeup done for prom, like, is she going into some type of database? And not just the email list that you don't pay any attention to, right? So not just the email list, but an active, almost like directory of, hey Tonya, I really enjoyed doing your makeup for prom. You know, I know spring break is coming up. I have some availability during the week. Can I book another appointment for you? I have the red lipstick you like. That's me working the business. And she would say, oh my God, I was just thinking about posting on Facebook. Ask somebody that know how to do makeup. I thought you might have been booked. You be like, girl, no, I'm not booked. Come on. Because y'all hear some people think you booked, honey. They don't reach out or anything. Okay. I don't know. But I found myself in seasons of my business where I was like, man, I got too many contacts, or I know too many people to not just be generating revenue. And this was the sauce that I stumbled into, in something that is just the core. And it makes so much sense now, obviously, that I'm on the other side of it, that's actually having a business. Without it, you kind of just have a social media page, or just a kind of a Shopify store, right? Is it an active in your customer database that consists of the name, phone number, email? I have like a status, right? Like, do they need a follow-up? Have they been invoiced? Are they no longer interested? Did they give another follow-up date? Right? A section for notes. You can build all this so easily, y'all, on Google Sheets. Right? So let's say if you wash cars, right? If you wash cars and ain't nobody called you for no car wash, you go back to your directory. Who the people car you done washed in the last 6 months? Who's DM'd you on social media? You go back to that directory and you work your business. Oh, hey, such and such, I know I washed y'all car last time, do y'all got anything come up? I'm going to be in the area next Saturday. You're working that business, right? And that is tedious work. But imagine how many people that once you start reaching out to them are going to say, oh my God, yes. Or maybe they don't. Maybe when you do reach out to them, they don't respond. But you can't stop. You can't just stop. So let's say if you actually have this customer database, or maybe like it was like me, I had a time where I had my email list, but I wasn't really tending to my active hot leads, right? So especially if you're a coach or consultant like me, it's different because I have to really nurture. I have to, I guess the type of clients that I have now, they are they're like scaling 7-figure level and stuff. So there's a different type of nurture involved there that I have to pay attention to. I can't just have them on my email list and post some content and think that they're just going to be ready to throw that type of money at me. What I desire in those clients is long-term contracts, long-term relationships, and that requires me to nurture in a different way. But that's just me and my business, right? Maybe it's a whole lot, I don't know, but that's just me and my business. That's how it's working. So let me talk about how to build this, right? So, and okay, so here's the thing too. If you say, well, Deb, I feel like I don't have a customer database. Well, that means you need to work on generating leads, which I'm sure if you've done any type of research about business, you know that business is nothing without lead generation, which a form of putting out a piece of content can be considered lead generation done the right way, right? It's basically attracting people. It's letting people see you. It's getting in front of people. It's going to a networking event. You know, you meet 3 people who might be interested. They need to come back to your house and go in your customer database or whatever automation or something you have set up so that they're active a part of that directory that you work to get business, right? And so that's how you have to think it. So if you're, especially if you're taking notes and you're following along, if your customer list is empty, build it. Right? Get the content out. Y'all, I got so much stuff on my page. Got to. Well, I probably need to make some more about creating content topics, content ideas. Y'all let me know if y'all need me to do another video on just creating content and revisiting it again about creating content ideas for your business. So if your list is empty, build it, right? Are you putting yourself out there? Are you stretching yourself? Are you being intentional about building up the directory? And the reason I'm glad I had this plan right here is because I want to give you a visual representation of what is truly your business, right? And are you actively nurturing them? And for some of you, I'm sure you are. You're saying, well, Deb, I'm past that. I'm past having a database of customers. I work them, right? And if you're in that spot where you're like, hey, I have, and a lot of us don't. A lot of us are not nurturing like our 4 networks and stuff on a regular basis. Like the people that you network with, the people that you're cool with, you're not actively building relationships and stuff to collaborate them and to get on podcasts or to be a guest coach or to, reach back out to your past clients or see if anybody has any referrals or go back and talk to your follow-ups or, a lot of us just, put it out there and just hope that they bite. And I remember my last coach telling me that. She was like, that's not how it works. She said you can't just, post it and be like, okay, I posted it. I did it. Deb said be consistent. Deb said be consistent. Deb said show up on social media. I did it. I put it out there. That's not how it works when you're asking for a service. It's like a coach or a consultant. That's not how our landscape works to really attract clients in a way that you want to impact. So I just don't. That's just not the way. I don't know. So you have to nurture those relationships. So when you put it out there, when you're the coach or consultant, you put your content out there. You're like, Deb, I'm doing it. I'm going live. I'm talking about the right topics. I can guess that there may be an element missing, such as community, right? So you put your content out there, but there's no other way to access you between you putting content out there and you expecting me to buy. There is no community or space that I can be a part of that can bring that nurture closer. And people do that in a lot of different ways. They do. Right? So even if I think about somebody like Darius Cooks, he builds community in going live and just attracting him. Right? That again, just posting it and then nothing, like having that space to get closer to somebody and trust them, especially if you're talking about like personal brand and impact and getting customers the organic, way that I'm describing, right? So what is your strategy for community?